Hey everybody, Jim here. Welcome back to the zone. If it's your first time here, welcome to the channel. I'm glad you're here. Do me a favor. Go up there, click on that subscribe button. Go down, give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever you want to do. Leave some comments in the comment section. Happy February the 14th, otherwise known as Valentine's Day. Probably the biggest made-up holiday that this country celebrates. Okay, hope you're having a good one. If you celebrate it, I'm going to be real honest with you. I came real close not to doing this video simply because I've been working on it for a while, and I was down here last night finishing up some of the research on it. Got done, went upstairs, watched a little bit of the news on the shooting at the college. Got ready to go to bed, and Mrs. Shady was in the bedroom. She had the TV on. She's watching YouTube, and she's watching Warlord TV. And guess what he was talking about? EMPs. So I came real close to not doing it. I've got some different opinions on EMPs, and everybody's got different opinions. It doesn't make anybody right, anybody wrong. It's just what people believe. Before I get into that, though, I want to say something about. You guys remember back in the live stream that we did a few weeks ago, I had said something about how the media throws out little shiny quarters to us, and we go around looking at all the little shiny objects, and it's distracting us from what's really going on. Well, over the past week and a half, 2 weeks, everybody's been looking up in the air at the balloons. Okay, we shot one down, and they're saying it was a Chinese spy balloon. Okay, that's good. I don't know what they are. I honestly don't know what they are. I don't want to guess what they are. But what I can tell you is what they are not. They are not aliens invading our planet. Okay, that got floated out there, and they're like, well, we can't deny anything. They're not. All right, let's think about this for a second, folks. If you've got a society, if you've got a culture that has the technology to travel light years across the universe to get to our planet, do you really think that a fighter jet is going to take that object down? Didn't you guys watch Independence Day? Come on. Okay. The same can be said for, the spy balloon thing itself. China, Russia, several other countries, us included, have got satellites that circle this world all the time. Spy satellites. These things can zoom down, take a picture of me, and read what I've got written on my t-shirt. Okay. Why would they want to put something in a balloon and send it across? I don't know. Okay, and it's like I said, I'm not even going to hazard a guess as to what these things are, except I do know this. While we're all looking up in the air at these balloons, what's going on that we don't know about? I mean, we've had train derailments. Okay, the one that they were talking about with the toxic gas and stuff, and the animals dying and all that, that happened like about a week or so ago, right about the time we started seeing balloons. We've had train derailments. In the past few months, we've had people taking out our power stations. We've got all kinds of things going on that the media is not real quick to cover, but, you see a balloon floating across the air, across the sky, and everybody just goes nuts. Okay, I tell you what, if the underdog balloon gets loose from the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, we're in serious trouble. Okay, all right. EMPs. And I've talked about EMPs before, but I kind of wanted to go into some of the detail about what may happen. How to kind of prepare for it, how to deal with it when it does happen. There's two different kinds of EMPs. There's man-made, okay, which we commonly refer to as an EMP. It's when they detonate a nuclear bomb probably 30 miles, 20 miles up in the atmosphere, and the energy from that pulse goes down, takes out a certain area's electrical grid, electronic devices, depending on how extreme you think that it's going to be. Man-made. The other one's a CME, a coronal mass ejection, and this comes from the sun. And what happens basically is there's a solar storm on the surface of the sun that gets so intense that it hurls this mass of basically the sun out into space. And this happens all the time. It's common. Okay. The thing about it is every once in a while, about every 100 to 150 years, one of these things hits the earth. The last time we had a big one was back in 1859, I believe in September. It was called the Carrington event. Back in 1859, we didn't really have an electrical grid. The only thing that we really had that ran off electricity was the telegraph lines. And it took the whole telegraph system out, period, gone. Took it out. There was all kinds of, weird things in the sky. They say that down in as far south as Carolina, you could see the aurora borealis, that parts of the east coast, that the ocean was glowing red because the sky was reflecting the red in the sky. All kinds of things like that happen. We don't know for sure what the effect of one would be today, but I'm pretty sure that if it tore up the telegraph lines the way it did back in 1859, that it would probably be pretty severe. Let me see, when was it? 2012. July, I believe, of 2012. We had one of these things that just missed us by a week. The sun ejected this coronal mass, and it hit Earth's orbit a week after we'd passed that point. We don't know what would have happened if it had. However, if one does hit the Earth, one of the major differences between this and a regular EMP is an EMP will just be a certain area. This will be a planet-wide kind of thing. Okay. What can you expect to happen? Okay. There's all kinds of theories, and I'm going to go with the ones that I've been researching the most. Okay. So, the power goes off. Okay. Just out of the blue, the power goes off. You pull out your cell phone's not working. And that's one of the first things you should do. You're going to do it anyway. More than likely, you're going to try to call the power company to see what's going on when your power is going to come back on. That's not working. Okay, what you need to do is immediately go check any device that you've got in your house that is not directly plugged in and see if it is working. If it's not, it's a good hint that that's what's happened. The next thing you need to do, and this is very important, and I don't care if you're prepping and you've got water downstairs, you got water outside, you've got water collection systems. Go to every faucet you got, bathtub, sink, whatever. Fill up every single container that you can in your house full of water. Okay? You need to go out next and check your automobile. Okay? See if your automobile will crank, if it will run. If it does not, try unplugging the battery, try unhooking the battery, letting it stay unhooked for about 5 or 10 minutes, hooking it back up, and then seeing if it'll run. They say that 60 to 70% of vehicles will be disabled. Okay, that's one of the extreme theories. Is 60 to 70% of vehicles will be disabled. Now, out of those, 10 to 15% may be able to run again after you unhook the battery and hook it back up. No matter what, there is going to be massive gridlock if you're out on the road. Cars are going to break down. Traffic lights are going to go out. GPS is going to go out. You need to get off the highway. If you're on the interstate, you need to get off. If your vehicle's still running, get off the interstate. Excuse me. Get to back roads. Get to frontage roads. And and get to moving. You need to get home. That is your priority right there, is you need to get home. If you get off, and if you are still moving, and you get off that interstate, you get off that highway, you get on those back roads, do not stop. Don't stop for anything, for any reason once you get started. There's going to be a lot of people that don't know what's going on, but there's going to be a few that do. Okay, and if they see you in a running vehicle, they might just want your vehicle. So do not stop. There's going to be numerous fires. Okay, when this thing hits, it's going to blow transformers. The transformers are going to explode. Fires are going to start. Okay, you can look for appliances, electronics in the home to spark. Some of them will catch fire. There's going to be arcs. You know, you're looking at maybe gas lines catching fire and exploding. You're looking at numerous car wrecks. Things like that going on everywhere. Like I said, gridlock on the highways. People with pacemakers. Okay, pacemakers are going to be fried. Numerous deaths just from that right there. People in the hospital on life support. Okay, maybe the hospitals will have a backup generator, but that's not going to last long. Those people are going to die. Just mass chaos and confusion. There's a huge debate on whether airplanes will be affected by it, because airplanes are supposed to be made to where they can withstand a lightning strike. Maybe they will. That doesn't say anything about their radio communications, their GPS, anything like that. And even if the plane is still flying in the air, what's that saying about the control towers down below? Okay, are they going to work? Are their GPS going to function? Are their communications going to function? How many airlines are we going to have circling, trying to find a place to land until they run out of fuel and just go down? You know, if it's at night, all the lights go out. How do they even see the runway? Okay. All right. Emergency services. Okay. Ambulance, police, fire are going to be pretty much just gone. Okay, the vehicles are down. You can't get an ambulance to anybody. That's in the first 1 to 2 hours. All this stuff is going to happen at one time. People are going to be confused. They're going to be aggravated. They're not going to know what to do. Within 3 to 6 hours, the majority of people are going to start catching on that something is bad, wrong here, and we need to get home. Whether you're at home or whether you're not at home, you need to keep in mind that there's going to be people out there that are going to be saying everything's going to be okay. Somebody's going to come fix this. Okay, they call that normalcy bias. It's every time the powers ever went out, every time anything's ever went wrong, somebody has came and fixed it. A lot of people are going to have that going on. They're even though the stuff is going on all around them, they're going to have this frame of mind that everything is going to be okay. Okay, somebody's going to come rescue me. Somebody's going to come help. Somebody's going to fix this. And that's just the way our mind thinks in these modern days. Now, if you can, within the first 3 to 6 hours, gather up as much cash as you've got on hand, and you're going to need cash. Try to go to a store. Do not go to a large grocery store, a large department store. Don't go there. Okay? Those places are going to be dangerous. A lot of places are going to be dangerous. Try to go to a small store, a convenience store. Buy what you can. Keep in mind that ATMs aren't going to be working. Your debit cards, your credit cards, they're going to be worthless. The gas pumps aren't going to work. Okay? There's no electricity. The gas pumps are not going to be working. There may be people lined up to get gas at gas pumps that will not work. All right? Avoid crowds at all cost. Okay, if you're walking to the store or whatever, and you see a crowd gathered up, even if they look peaceful, even if they don't look like anything's going on with them, Stay away from them. Okay. Like I said, pay cash for what you need. Okay. If you've got food and stuff stocked up at home, look at getting things that you can barter. Okay. Tobacco is a good one. Alcohol is a good one. And as far as anything else goes, ice. If you can get ice, get ice. Maybe you can preserve some of your food a little longer if you've got some ice. If you do that, once you get home, you need to start setting up some security around your house. You know, hang dark curtains over your windows. Board up windows. Set up booby traps. Okay. Take stock of your ammo, of your food. Get a good idea of what you've got on hand and how long you're going to be able to last. There's nothing wrong with going out and talking to your neighbors. Okay, I'm not saying go out and start blabbing to people about, well, I've got this and I've got enough food to last this long. But kind of go out, get a feel of what they're thinking, what's going on. Now, I'm going to tell you, I've got some good neighbors around me. I've got a couple of good, solid people that I think that I could go out and we could talk to. Maybe even discuss, you know, setting up watches, you know, give each other, look out for each other. Another thing that you want to do, get in your refrigerator. Okay, start cooking everything in there that's perishable. Okay, it's going to make it last a few days longer than it will if it just melts and goes bad. If you've got a really good refrigerator, I mean, and I do, I've got a really good refrigerator. We had the power go out. Well, actually, the power didn't go out. Our refrigerator went out. And that's kind of funny after I said it was real good. But we threw up bags of ice down in the freezer part of the refrigerator. And our food stayed cold for 2 days. We had that good of a refrigerator. But cook stuff. Have a neighborhood barbecue. You know, that's a good way to talk to people and see, you know, where their minds are at right now. You're going to have those people that are going to be in a state of denial. You're going to have those people that have got that mentality that somebody's coming to help, and that's fine. You know, let them think that. 12 to 24 hours after this starts is when you're going to start seeing some of the looting going on. The riots are going to start up, and these are going to be like crimes of opportunity. Okay, this is going to be the crazies and the psychos, your anarchists and stuff that just like to riot and burn and pillage anyway. They're going to come out and start doing this. And the reason they've got that attitude is still that attitude that I was talking about everything's going to be all right, somebody's going to come and fix this. They're taking advantage of the situation because they think that sooner or later the cops are going to take control, the government's going to come in, the electricity's going to come back on, everything's going to be okay. Within 24 hours, the police and the National Guard may try to take control of the situation again. They may try to set up some kind of a martial law, you know, but it's not going to last. For one thing, they're not going to have the manpower. A lot of these guys are going to have the same idea that you had at the beginning of this, and that was to get home to their families, and they're just going to walk off the job. Okay, and you take a city the size of Denver, the size of Houston, New York, LA, it would take every cop and every National Guard reservist in the state just to maintain control of that city. Okay? They're not going to have dependable ways to communicate with each other. They're not going to have dependable transportation. Even the military, a lot of the military vehicles these days are civilian vehicles. They are not made to withstand an EMP. So you're running a good chance that this isn't going to last long. They may attempt it, but they're certainly not going to put in like you got to be in your house by 6 o'clock and don't come out till 6 o'clock the next morning. They don't have enough manpower to do it. Within 48 hours, the looting is going to start getting worse. It's going to be widespread. You're going to have a lot of riots. They're going to continue to get worse. After these people figure out that there's nobody to stop them, it's going to continue to get worse. You're going to have factions start to form. Okay, you're going to have groups, gangs. Strong leaders are going to start trying to fight their way to the top. If you are going to get out of town, you need to do it now. Okay, you need to do it before these people in the urban areas especially take control and start ruling in a tribal sort of way. Okay, you need to get out as quick as you can. After say 3 days to a month, you're going to have wide-scale panic in a lot of cases. You're going to basically have 2 or 3 types of people. You're going to have the people that are out in the streets, that are forming these gangs, that are doing all this. You're going to have people that are hunkered down, that are trying to stay low-key, hide. You're going to have people that are going to hopefully start forming some kind of alliances to protect their neighborhoods or whatever. This is the time where this is going to turn into like a Mad Max situation or a Mad Max scenario. After day 3, even people that live outside the cities, out in the rural areas, out in the country, they need to start. You need to start being very, very conscious of what's going on and who's coming in, because some of the gangs are also going to try. Some of the crazies are also going to try to get out of the urban areas and get out there. So, you need to make security a priority in a small town. It's easier in a small town because most people in a small town know each other or have a good idea who each other are. So it's a lot easier for people to join, to get together and form their own little groups in small towns. After a month of this craziness, it's the rural communities that's going to probably be okay. They're probably going to have banded together and pretty much taken out all the bad guys that might be trying to come in. The cities, the inner cities, they're going to be jungles. Probably hopelessly just gone. Like I said, 90 days, the big cities, gangs, territories, tribal control of everything that's going on. 90 days to 2 years is where it gets really, really, really sad. Okay, you've got starvation and disease, lack of sanitation. Diseases are going to spread like wildfire. Just from like I said, the lack of sanitation. 60 to 90% of the population will die off, and probably more people are going to die from disease and starvation and the elements than died from the violence. And if this is an EMP, which an EMP would not be worldwide, but if this is an EMP in some country was trying to invade us, attack us, take over, anywhere from 90 days to a year to 2 years is when we'd see boots on the ground from a foreign country. And I know this is a downer kind of thing, but there are things that you can do to be ready, to be prepared, and that is the key word right there. Be prepared. Hope for the best, expect the worst. Stock up on your food, stock up on your provisions, stock up on things that you're going to need to protect yourself. I've said it before. You're going to need shelter, you're going to need food and water, and you're going to need protection. Okay? If you can get out, if you live in a big city and you can get out, get out. If you're going to hunker down, if you're going to shelter in place, make sure that your shelter is fortified and that you are solid. Have some backup. Form some alliances with your neighbors and things like that. Okay? Guys, this is all just me. It's my opinion from the things that I've learned, from the things that I've researched. My opinion is different than a lot of other people's opinions. And if you've got a different opinion, don't be shy about putting it down in the comment section here. Okay. I hope you guys have a great day. Have a safe one. Have a good Valentine's if you're celebrating it. And I will see you on the next video.